So right now, I know you're mad at me. I know you don't like me, but I'm sorry. I'm not one of your little friends. I'm not the 50-year-old trying to be 25. I'm the 50-year-old who's trying to be a better 50-year-old. And here's what I'm seeing right now that I think you might want to consider. And I would encourage every young person, you got to listen to your parents and your grandparents and the elders that care about you. And don't get caught up in I'll tell you that, and sometimes you'll see these intergenerational transfers happen online. And I mentioned this with some hesitancy because I know it's sensitive, but I saw Stephen A. Smith and going back and forth with Jasmine Crockett, the congressional, and I know people, some of y'all love him, some of you love her. I'm not here to debate that part. I'm just here to say, why can't they listen to each other and learn from each other? I saw a lot of people saying, well, you just an old hater and you just a blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so you can dismiss, he talked for an hour, you're dismissing every argument he made because you want to make fun of his hairline and the fact that he's old and he's stupid and you don't, maybe he has some good advice. Maybe he can say, look, I made $200 million and I got things done. Here's what I did. And you can say, look, I don't agree with your politics, but I'm going to learn from you, right? I'm going to listen and I'm going to see if there's something you can share with me that's going to help me get closer to the goal. Because here's the problem that you have. Here's the big problem that I think we have is that there's a whole lot of talking, but not a whole lot of progress. Right? There's a whole lot of people that are like, I'm mad about this and I'm mad about that, but ain't nothing getting built, ain't nothing getting done. No, investment funds are not being allocated to build black-owned schools, right? So really, what are you doing? You're wasting energy. You're just, because I can tell you one thing I can say. Again, even though I could be a hater too, I've been called one. I can say that in this room, I've seen families get stronger in this space. I can say in this space, I've seen children get educated at a very high level. Some of y'all got 9-year-old, 12-year-old kids that have been listening to me for 8 years. Your child has been listening to a college professor for 8 years. Do you know what kind of advantage they're going to have in life? Right? I've seen your wealth rise as a result of this. I've seen people go to the All Black National Convention and meet their spouse. I've seen progress. That's what I'm saying, right? I've seen areas where you can't say that a typical B1 person who's been hanging out in this space for a while and implementing even 10% of what we talked about, they probably don't have a bad life. I know that your average income, for example, when we take our surveys, you guys make more money than most white people. You are happier than a lot of people. You are working through issues in your family. You have annihilated more generational curses than most people, right? And let's not even talk about your wealth in your bank account. Y'all are acquiring real estate. You're starting businesses. You're invested in stocks. So to me, that's what I want. That's what I like to see. So the question would be, how do we focus on the result? Are we looking at the result? If we're looking at the result and just saying, okay, I'm not caught up in how I feel about you or whether I agree with you or whether I think your hairline is too small or whatever, or I think you're too loud or whatever. Can you help me to achieve the goal? And I think the reason that people don't achieve the goal is because they don't even know what the goal is. They don't even know what the goal is. I think that black complacency becomes our number one enemy. We are so used to blackness being associated with disorganization, chaos, and a lack of productivity that people don't. If you say, well, what's the final, what are you actually accomplishing, and what measuring stick are you using to show that you're achieving the goal? A lot of people can't even tell you. Like, I don't know.